Good morning, everybody. Zigal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. This is going to be a quick update as I usually don't stream this early in the morning. We got to talk about Declan Rice. We got to talk about Sesko. We got to talk about Arteta and everything that's going on at Arsenal. But before we go any further, please do hit the like on this video. Let's try to make sure we get past at least 100 likes on this video as soon as possible when you join the stream. Or if you're watching on the playback, please do hit that like button right about now. It helps out the channel massively, and you guys don't understand how much that helps. But before we go any further, big up to everybody watching. I just want to let you guys know there is a possibility that Declan Rice could be out versus Chelsea. There's also Arteta has a little bit of a lineup headache on who he's going to play in the upcoming game, and we're also getting more updates on what's going on with Edu, potential transfers in, potential transfers out. Just so much going on. But before we go any further, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well on this wonderful Friday morning. I will be live later today for an Arsenal. Sorry, I will be live later today for a Chelsea Arsenal preview with a couple of the boys. And I just want to get started by saying hello to everyone. Yeah, am I the only one here? No, you're not. There's about 13 people there right now at this moment in time. And I'm just gonna go on Twitter also, just to add Twitter, so some of the people from Twitter jump on over. Also, we got Man City fans in the building. Arteta shouldn't be given any more money, as he's proven he can't make do with what he already spent. I don't think that's how football works, my friend. Unfortunately, as long as you're still in the job, you're always the club and the board are going to continue to somewhat back the manager. If they don't back the manager and they stop giving him money, there's a case to say that if we regress, it's understandable to a certain degree because the manager is not being allowed to do what he needs to do to continue to progress the team. I completely disagree with that sentiment. But yeah, before we go any further, I just want to say, guys, we do have to discuss the news around Declan Rice. This news is a little bit concerning, in my opinion, as Samuel McBell reported yesterday. Samuel McBell reported yesterday that Declan Rice's fitness ahead of the game versus Chelsea is seriously in doubt. So the situation is very clear. Samuel McBell said that Mikel Arteta has given Declan Rice every chance to prove his fitness for the crucial Chelsea clash. Arteta says the midfielder is suffering from a foot injury, understood to be a broken toe. Now, first thing, when you hear broken toe, you're probably thinking, maybe he can play. Guys, I'm telling you right now, the severe pain he could be in, especially in with an injury like that in a sport where you're using your feet to pass the ball, it's definitely going to affect him negatively. And I wouldn't be surprised if Declan Rice is not only misses the Chelsea game, potentially doesn't turn up to England for the upcoming matches. And this could be a thing where we don't see Declan Rice for I don't know how long. How long don't we see him? At least until after the international break. Yeah. So it could be a situation where we don't see Declan Rice for at least until after the international break, potentially. Now there is a case where he could maybe make it back in time. It is understood that Declan Rice has suffered a broken toe and will be assessed in the next 48 hours. However, Declan Rice could yet play against Chelsea, particularly given the magnitude of the game following the run of the last 3 games without a win. So because of the situation that we find ourselves in over the last couple of games where we haven't won, he could play. Now, you even have here a broken toe is more about pain tolerance than anything else. They'll wrap it up and see how he feels. Some people say you can just wrap it up and you can just see how he feels as it's going to be extremely painful. But do we really want Declan Rice out there not playing to his best of his ability because he's going to be in severe pain? Or do you think we can manage without him? I want to know what you guys think, because if it's a situation where Declan Rice plays and he further injures his toe or he further injures his foot injury, that could be a problem. But at the same time, his ability to if he is able to play, I would expect that he would be able to tolerate the pain and go and grind it out. it is a situation where we still don't know 100% if Declan Rice is going to be out. But one thing we do know is if Declan Rice is out, Mikel Arteta will have a serious, serious selection headache, and he will have to figure out what he's going to do with the team and everything else. I personally think Declan Rice will most likely try to play, and with that last line on this stating that Declan Rice could still play with the magnitude of the game and everything, they would not state that if they didn't feel like there was a possibility Declan Rice would play. And I still think this just goes to show the pressure Arsenal are under. Where if we were if we had 6 more points on the table, I don't know if we would risk Declan Rice. I think it's the severity of us potentially falling behind Liverpool is making us do things that we normally would not do, and further risk further injury from Declan Rice. If I was to guess right now, I think Declan Rice still plays. I think all this stuff about Declan Rice being out versus Chelsea, there is some serious uh, issues behind it. I would expect he does miss the whole international break with England to try to heal up. I hope he misses the entire international break. But if he plays for Arsenal versus Chelsea, I would expect him to still report to camp for England. At this moment in time, we don't have all the information, but we're basically going 50-50 into that game. We don't know what is going to happen. All I do know is Declan Rice is going to be out potentially. Yeah. Egal definitely has a twin brother. Do I have a twin brother? I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't have a twin brother. But yeah, I on the Premiership Psycho Room, the never wrong dates say 50-50 fit, exaggerating injuries. Mikel Arteta makes fake news. Why would Samuel McBell report a fake injury? What benefit is there to reporting a fake injury? Like, I think sometimes you guys just overdo it with this stuff. But do you want Rice, who's possibly not 100% fit, playing against a well-rested Chelsea midfield? You see, this is a further concern. Who do we play if Declan Rice doesn't play? That is another question. Who do we play? If Declan Rice doesn't play, who do we play? Because that is another question you have to ask yourself. Look at it. Declan Rice, if Declan Rice is out versus Chelsea, if Declan Rice is seriously injured, do you want him out there versus Chelsea's midfield? Probably not. You're right. But at the same time, do you want to go into the game knowing that your team is slightly weaker in a game that's so important that you need to win? It's gonna be down to Declan Rice. It's gonna be down to Declan Rice and the medical staff if they feel Declan Rice can play through the pain versus Chelsea, because that's what he's gonna have to do. If he's gonna play, he's basically gonna be playing through the pain. If he doesn't play, it's because the pain is just too much and he's unable to do it. Personally, I think it's going to affect his ability to take shots, to maybe pass. Then you definitely don't want him playing if the pain is just too much. But at this moment in time, I don't think we can actually put our finger on if he's gonna play or not yet. Injury is serious. There is a real injury. It's not mind games. It's not like the Cole Palmer thing. I think Cole Palmer, they're just playing up to the media to try to make it seem worse than it is. Cole Palmer, 100%. I think he's gonna play versus Arsenal. I don't think Mikel Arteta or anybody is not preparing for Cole Palmer in that upcoming game versus Chelsea. But Declan Rice, though, 50-50 right now. Egal, go to a Premiership Cycle room and sit. They'll never is never wrong in 10 years. So if they're saying he's good enough to play through the pain, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Rivalry aside, as a Liverpool supporter, there's still a long season ahead. Don't rush him back because you face bigger problems if he does injure it during the game. You see, this is another thing that you have to worry about. Liverpool will go 9 points ahead or maybe 10 points, which I would love it to happen. No, that's not going to happen. We're going to beat Chelsea, and we're gonna either still keep that 7-point gap or potentially break it up if you guys drop points at all versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been a team that were able to beat you guys most recently and get you guys to drop points recently also. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the whole Declan Rice situation. In my opinion, I think Declan Rice is still going to play. And if I was to do lineups, I'll do two lineups. I will make two lineups right now, and one is going to be with Declan Rice, and one is going to be without Declan Rice. And I'm just going to show you what the lineups would look like. So if there's a situation where, first things first, we know the goalkeeper is going to be David Raya. We know the center back pairing is going to be the likes of Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. So let me just find Saliba. Where's Saliba at? Where is Saliba? There's Saliba. There's Gabriel Magalhaes. So I don't think there's going to be too much of a selection headache with the defense, in my opinion, because Timber is back. So you're gonna play Timber left back, in my opinion. That is the best choice left back. You're gonna play Ben White. Now that Ben White is ready to go and he's going to be available for this game. Um, Partey is one of the first names on the team sheet at this moment in time. He has been playing as one of the best players for Arsenal this season so far. You have to start him right away. The next player next to Thomas Partey, if Declan Rice is not available or if he isn't, regardless, I want to see Odegaard back into the team. I want to see Odegaard back in the team. If not Martin Odegaard, I want to see Ethan starting. One of Martin or Ethan have to start, in my opinion. And if Declan Rice is not available, we will go with Mikel Moreno. Now, I think with that being said, we already know Bukayo Saka is going to start on the right-hand side. That is probably another player who's one of the first names on the team sheet. There's no real debate about the striker at this point, as Kai Havertz will most likely be the starting striker. But there was a little concern about Kai Havertz having a head injury in the previous Champions League match. That is one slight concern that I had in the previous Champions League match. Is Jorginho better playing in this game? I don't know if Jorginho will play. I think Jorginho right now is very late in the pecking order. What makes you say Jorginho would be a better fit? Because regardless, I think Thomas Partey is going to play. If you think Partey in the 8 and Jorginho in the 6, let me know what you think. What midfield are you going with? As for the left wing position, would you guys? I would put Leandro Trossard back on the bench, and I would start Martinelli on the left. And when we need a goal, when it's late in the game, when we're maybe just trying to finish off the game, you can bring on Martinelli. Or even if you want to start with Trossard on the left, it's up to Arteta. But I think he's going to most likely go with this front three. I think he's going to go with this back four and goalkeeper. The only situation where things might change is he brings Rice in. I hope we can start seeing Odegaard playing a lot more minutes and maybe even starting, because Odegaard's start versus Chelsea will massively improve our creativity, will massively give us so much more in this middle section, because what we did versus Newcastle last week was embarrassing. I thought it was downright terrible what we did versus them, and just I hope that we can figure it out, because in the last couple of weeks we have been underperforming and we need to get our act together. We cannot afford to drop more points. This is serious times now at Arsenal, and with the potential Declan Rice injury on top of everything else that we've had so far this season, it is starting to look like the year from hell. It is starting to look like the year where things are just not going our way, and we can't feel sorry for ourselves. We need to get ourselves back up. We need to pick ourselves back up and continue to improve. We cannot afford to drop any more points. I don't think Jorginho is fit. With Caicedo and Lavia, serious athletes, Partey and Moreno would be a better duo, in my opinion. Yeah, 100%. We have to respect Chelsea's midfield. As much as people want to make fun of Chelsea as a team over the last couple of years, Caicedo and Lavia are two of the best midfield partnerships in the league. I rate Lavia so high and I rate Caicedo so high. I wanted both of them at Arsenal. So to any Chelsea fan watching, you guys have two ballers in that midfield. But if you guys play Enzo Fernandez, I will back us to win that game a lot more. But the fact that Enzo Fernandez is no longer a mainstay or a big part of the Chelsea midfield really massively improves Chelsea's chances to win these kind of games. Caicedo, who has been performing like one of the best midfielders in the league this season. And Lavia, every time he plays, he seems to be the best player on the pitch, be it against Chelsea, be it against Man City, be it against anybody. Whenever Lavia plays, he looks amazing. And don't forget what Lavia did to us a couple of years ago when he played for Southampton. So I do, as much as I banter Chelsea, they have some really, really good players, and we cannot take them lightly. And we need to make sure that we get our midfield selections perfect. Now, the concern that everyone has is that midfield three. The midfield three. If Declan Rice is available, Partey is available, Odegaard is there, we are going to feel the most confident. This is the team that will bring me the most confidence. Now, if Odegaard is not there, I don't care what anybody tells me, you have to play Ethan. Fuck playing Trossard. I am done with Trossard playing. I am done with Trossard playing. I am done. What are you talking about? Egal looks weird. Interesting. What are you on about? So confused. So I am done with the whole experiment with playing what do you call it? Anybody else. We need to stop playing Trossard in the 10, and we need to play either Ethan or we need to play one of them. Sorry, you didn't say weird. You said worried. It's not worried, bro. We have not been playing well. Of course, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. We have not been playing well. Arsenal have been playing poorly since a majority of the season. It's true. I'm done with Trossard through the middle. I agree. I am done with Trossard through the middle. We need to start getting our act together, and it's either Ethan or Thing. And worst case scenario, guys, this is our team. Worst case scenario with Odegaard injured, with potentially a lot of players out. This is the worst case scenario team. Now, in no shape or form do I want to see Partey playing right back. Ben White is available. You play Ben White at right back. You no longer move Partey from anywhere. Partey is, at this moment in time, our 6. Our 8 will either be Declan Rice or Moreno, and the 10 should be either Odegaard or Ethan. This is going to be the weakest team we should play against Chelsea. And I think this team still has enough to win. We have a decent attack. The weakness is probably going to be in the midfield, but maybe we'll give them a lot of the ball and we'll try to play on the counter. That's probably what we're going to do. We're probably going to have situations where out of possession, you're going to have Martinelli and Saka and everybody pushing back, and it's going to be a situation where you're going to have Ethan and Havertz. But when Odegaard is there, he definitely allows us to press a lot more. If Declan Rice is there, he definitely covers more ground than Mikel Merino. But Mikel Merino so far has shown defensively he's solid. It's just, what does he bring to our game offensively? Does he bring the passing range? Does he bring the line breaking passes? Does he bring a forward thinking midfielder? Does he do that for us? Because that is where I question his ability. I know Declan Rice is going to get up and down the pitch, defensively cover, and he could even get in the box and score. He scored against Chelsea last year. And if Odegaard is available, I know Odegaard is going to be able to link up with Bukayo Saka, unlock the right-hand side, and he's just going to have this whole space wide open. But yeah, this is the team I'm going to go with. If you guys disagree with it, let me know in the comments. This is the team I'm going with versus Chelsea. And if people are saying, Igal, you're worried, I am slightly worried, yeah. Stop this underdog gimmick, rubbish, mind games from Arteta. Nobody's saying we're underdogs. What the fuck? I expect us to win. I expect us to go into the game and be favorites. Nobody's sitting here saying we're underdogs. I think sometimes you guys want to hear things, or you're hearing things that I've never said. That's just ridiculous. Who said we're underdogs? Who the hell said we're underdogs? Now, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. We still have a couple things where we need to discuss. But one of the things we need to discuss is there were some things floating about transfers before the game that we played against Inter Milan. Some of the stuff is about what do you call it? Potential transfers in January. One of the things is where is it? Where is it? You know, when you're looking for something, you can't find it. So first thing, people are saying Viktor Gyökeres has a release clause of 100 million euros in his contract, but it is understood that it's a gentleman agreement between Sporting to allow him to leave, the player to leave for a lower fee. Now, if Arsenal are serious, we're gonna need to bring in a striker as soon as possible. I don't think we're gonna bring in a striker this upcoming January window, but boy, Viktor Gyökeres looked really good versus Man City. If this is a guy who could leave Sporting at some point, Arsenal can bring him for 70 to 85 million euros. He improves our attack tenfold. This is probably the closest thing to Erling Haaland in world football, and he went toe to toe versus Man City and dunked on them with a hat trick. What more do you need to see? What more do you need to see? This guy is a baller, and I would love to see him at Arsenal. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't think Arsenal are going to do it in January. If we do get a transfer sorted out for Viktor Gyökeres, it would have to most likely be in the upcoming summer transfer window. We're also linked to Alexander Isak. We're also linked to Mohamed Kudus. There's just so many little links here and there to players. But another player we are seriously linked to, another player who we have discussed potential transfer talks with in the past is, of course, Viktor Gyökeres. So hopefully we find out if that happens, and hopefully he doesn't end up joining Manchester United, as Manchester United have just taken the Sporting manager over there in Ruben Amorim, and he, of course, has worked with Viktor Gyökeres and would know how good he is. And I would expect him to probably go back in and try to raid the offices over there. Now, Edu has left. You guys already know about this. I've done a video on Edu leaving, but we now potentially know who Edu's replacement is. So next week, Arsenal's football leadership team, led by Arteta, Richard Garlick, Tim Lewis, will meet with the owners, Cronkies, and the outline of building this squad for 2025. Jason Ayton is likely to represent the recruitment department, as Ayton began with Arsenal in the video analyzation room, working his way back to Edu's right-hand man, and last year reshaped the recruitment team and led by Ayton being named as an assistant sporting director. So at this moment in time, the assistant sporting director is Ayton, and they're saying Ayton could potentially, this is the man right here, he could potentially take over Edu's position. Yeah. So I've never I don't think I've even seen this guy in any videos. I've never really taken him in, but apparently he's the guy who's currently filling the Edu's role while after Edu has resigned. And Jason Ayton has played significant role in, of course, the most recent transfers and the transfer negotiations with Edu. He's fluent in Portuguese as well, regarded in European football circles. He will step up internal basis as Arsenal search for a new sporting director. So Arsenal are in the search for a new sporting director. He is not going to be getting the sporting director job, but he will be basically filling in the meanwhile, and he will be supported by James King, who joined the PFA to replace Richard Garland as director of football operations, and King will take his position on Monday. So there's a little bit of backroom shakeup at Arsenal. I don't know how much this is going to negatively affect our January and summer transfer window, but at this moment in time, Arsenal are in the search for a new sporting director, and this man has stepped in to basically fill the void of Edu for the foreseeable future until we get a replacement in. And then finally, the final before we speak about the final topic, honestly, he does not look like he's not going to be replacing him for the long term. Don't worry. Kudus is going to Liverpool. We'll have to wait and see. Mbappe has made Real Madrid worse. Yes, he has. He has made Real Madrid worse. Let me know if you guys think we're going to win a trophy this year, as we are pretty far in the thing. This is bad. English guy never good at transfers. Yeah, you guys are too much. Finally, Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko has a £55 million release clause. Yes, Benjamin Sesko has a £55 million release clause. And Arsenal are seriously considering Benjamin Sesko as our next striker. Now, we were already interested in him. But what happened is Arsenal retain an interest in RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko, who has a 55 million pound release clause with a with the club monitoring his progress closely ahead of the next two transfer windows. Sesko is understood, given a serious consideration towards joining Arsenal in the summer, but held reservations whether he would be given regular starting 11 minutes, of course. And with the club making it clear he would not be guaranteed to play ahead of Kai Havertz. Now, do you guys think this is a mistake? Do you guys think this is the right decision? Because in my opinion, it is always the right decision to tell a player they're going to have to fight for their place. We are not in a situation where Benjamin Sesko comes in and guaranteed starts every single game. But at the same time, why are we going after Benjamin Sesko if we don't even view him as a guaranteed starter? Surely we want to improve the quality of the team, but we also want players who we feel like are upgrade on what we currently have. To tell him we can't guarantee him game time, although I do agree you should not guarantee anybody game time, wouldn't we want players who we would back to come in and take over rather than just adding squad depth? I don't know how good you guys think Benjamin Sesko is, but at this moment in time, with Alexander Isak available, Viktor Gyökeres potentially available, all these other forwards that are going to be available, we're not going to go back in for Benjamin Sesko, even though his price tag will be available for a reasonable fee. I just don't think we're going to go back in for him. And it doesn't excite me as much as I thought it would in the summer, as he is a young player. But let's be honest, 100% honest here. I would rather go for Viktor Gyökeres or Alexander Isak ahead of Benjamin Sesko. And I think you guys would all agree when I say that. But yeah. Finally, I will be doing a match preview tonight. With the boys at 8:30 until 10. So please do check us out. We will be live later tonight with that. And a big up to everyone watching. I don't want Sesko. Give me Gyökeres for 63 million. Sesko ain't better than Havertz. Leave that guy, Isak and Osimhen. You know what? Victor Osimhen's performance yesterday versus Tottenham, he's a baller too, mate. He's a baller too. Best Sesko, in my opinion, or Isa, the Fulham player. I don't know too much about Isa. I've never really heard too much about him. But yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a quick little video this morning. I got 15 minutes before I got to head back to work anyways. Catch you guys in the next one. And hopefully I can keep you guys updated on anything Arsenal related and in general, whatever major news there is. But we're out of here, people. Catch you guys in the next one. Love for watching, and peace.